Alright guys, so you guys might recognize this from a while ago. I had a video on this over the summer, and it used to have a Polar Star jack in it. Pretty much, there were a lot of issues with the Polar Star jack. It was the same story with that other Polar Star jack. You had to adjust the dwell when it was super cold. Sometimes air would just straight up shoot out the nozzle until you unplug the air. Weird stuff like that. So, the guy that owned this gun when it was a Polar Star jack sold it to a friend, got him into airsoft. He's brand new to airsoft. He's been playing for like 2 months. He bought the gun for like $75 because apparently this guy helped my friend fix his car, apparently. So he gave him a good deal. $75, I think, is what the cost was for the gun with the Polar Star jack in it. So insanely cheap. The guy, his name's Casey, that owns this gun, actually put a V12 in it. I put a V12 in it for him. I just said, let's just ditch the Polar Star jack. I don't know what's wrong with it. I have not opened it up. It was giving some issues back before he had purchased the gun as well, from what I knew. On the video, when I shot the gun, it shot great. See, that's the thing. And then when we go out to play, and it's garbage. So I just went ahead and just the tried and true V12, which I use all the time. This was purchased used, but it was purchased in, like, it was in good shape. So it had been used like once, and then it was taken out of a gun. So let's just start from the front, go to the back for those people that have never seen this gun before the video on this gun. And really nothing on the outside's changed, but I'll go over it again. So there is a, what's this, G&G suppressor, I think. Yeah, G&G armament suppressor. It is foam filled. It's quick detach. Clean, no barrel sticking out, so he can take this off if he wants. It's pretty quiet with this on here, nothing insane. The foam fill job on here is not the best. It's just not, it doesn't dampen the sound as much, it doesn't absorb the air. With this on it, it's pretty dang loud. I'll shoot it with just that as well. So, pretty cool setup. It's a 14.5 inch barrel, so it's a longer gun. A key mod on here. The whole body is an APS Spyder. It's what they call it, APS Spyder. What is this? This is not honeycomb. It's Cryptek. Is that what it is? Cryptek multicam, I think. I don't know, maybe. It's got a APS key mod, which are really nice key mods. They're expensive aftermarket, but when they come on the guns, they're just nice. It's worth it. To buy aftermarket, they're like, I think they're $80 or something stupid like that. You can get a ZCI key mod for like 30, so 20 to 30. I'd much rather have a ZCI key mod, but for one that comes on a gun, it's cool. It's a cool pattern as well. Very sleek. It's got an angled foregrip on the bottom. I believe this is a real one. Psych, it is totally fake. There's no markings on it whatsoever. The body, again, APS Spyder, metal. Everything's metal on here. Flip up sights. Multicam, Cryptek stock, whatever, crane stock. A pistol grip here, which had a big lip on it, and it was put on a PDW, which had quick detach mounts, so I had to shave it off, but then it went onto this gun, so it's kind of weird looking, but I had to do that to fit the previous gun, whatever. As far as the internals on the engine, it's got just the standard hose with a Polar Star jack valve, because the V12 valves are garbage, so this one was on the jack, so I put that one on here. It's got a short trigger pull mod. It's nothing insane. It's, you know, fairly short. That was actually done by the previous owner, which is actually pretty good. I just didn't want to mess with it. It was good enough. It's about like half the pull of your stock trigger from this. Other upgrades, it also has a banjo fitting, Polar Star banjo fitting. The what is it made by? S2 Airsoft Works or something like that. I bought it from Amped Airsoft, and I actually got a note from Amped Airsoft, which is pretty cool. It says, enjoy your new banjo. These things rock for more efficiency. It says, thanks, Curtis. So, thanks, Curtis, for that. I know all you guys like the Polar Star stuff. Sorry, I'm using a V12, but some of us are on that Metro PCS budget, so we can't afford that Cricket Wireless. We don't got the Verizon. We got the cheap stuff, but it works. Other than that, on the inside of the gun, we have the S2 banjo, which is going to help efficiency. And the nozzle has been bored out to a gold nozzle, so I didn't bore it out to a red nozzle. I just bored because I didn't want the FPS to go over and shoot hot, because the player is going to have to shoot 350 for indoor when he does want to play there. So I bored it out to the gold nozzle diameter. The reason why I didn't do red is because, again, it might shoot hot. I have two different drill bits. One is the gold, and then one is the red, which is just pretty much a size up on those drill bits. I don't know the exact diameter or whatever. or drill bit size, but it's just one size up on my kit, and that is about the equivalent of the red. This one's the gold, so just so I don't shoot hot for him. He does use an SLP air rig, which is good and efficient, and the refresh rate's really good. So he has a 62 cubic inch tank, which we're going to go play Sunday, so we're really going to test the efficiency of the engine. I really don't have time to test it, so he's going to play with it and test it. Of course, the V12s are not as efficient as other engines, nowhere near. Even like Polar Star Fusion engines out of the box are not that bad. Polar Star Fusion engines in general are just consistent. This actually, FPS consistency is really, really good the way I have it tuned. It is a lower rate of fire setup, but as you can hear, 25 rounds a second. That's right, I have this set for 25. I would never go below 30 normally, but this is going to be an outdoor gun. This is going to be shooting hard. Now, he can take the suppressor off, go indoor and shoot 350 or 370, whatever the FPS limit is, but for outdoor, this gun's going to be shooting smack dab 400. So I have it set for 400. Hopefully this regulator hasn't moved itself, but it was shooting exactly 400. It was very, very consistent. And then with .25s, it is, with that same PSI, it is 1.6 joules with the 2.5, which is nice. And then, which is reads like 370 with the 2.5. So my PSI... the air tank that I'm using is a Gorilla Air. It's a kind of a crappy tank. And then my old Redline SFR, or sorry, my Firebase, which I just am selling to a friend on Sunday, actually. It's not a bad regulator, but it's not the best. So let's hook it up. Let's see where the PSI is at. Okay, so the PSI is about 90. This is about the equivalent of a SLP air rig. This is no more air output than an SLP, whereas with my SFR regulator by Redline, when I shoot 70 PSI on the SFR, it's about 85 in equivalent on the SLP, so it's like a 15 PSI difference. So in the same PSI, it shoots quite a bit lower with the SLP, but obviously you can adjust the PSI. But again, with this regulator, it's about the equivalent to the SLP that he's going to be using. So he'll probably run 90 PSI, smack dab 400. Alright, so let's go ahead and chrono this. I got a VFC magazine full of .2s, and the chrono is set for .2s. Okay. 402, 396, oh, sorry, 398, 397. It's feeding, it's just so quiet, I think it's misfeeding. 396, 399, 398, 399, 397, 399. So very, very consistent. 399 is 1.49 joules. 400 smack dab, I'm pretty sure. That's 399.9. That's as close as you're going to get without actually hitting 400. But it's about 1.4 joules, sorry, 1.5 with a .2. Let's try full auto. Well, 24.3, 394 feet per second. Feeding's okay. It did skip a few times there. This gun's pretty picky, and it's with the magwell. It's the way the magazine catch and magwell works. These APS bodies are so picky. I'm going to probably adjust the nozzle timing. Other than that, everything else is nice in this gun. The nozzle timing will probably just need adjusted according to his magazines. So let's go ahead and try these BAMPs. Okay, shoots pretty good. Again, about 200 feet range. Oh. Mag's out. Nope, it's jammed. So these magazines aren't the best. I don't know. These BAMP mags seem to work good for like a 25 RPS AEG, but why not 25 RPS HPA? You can hear the magazine struggle to feed. Okay, now it's out. It jammed up, so these are magazine issues. I don't think these are down to the gun. Can you hear that on that metal? There's a metal box up there. It's hitting pretty hard. And then that tree, that's hitting pretty hard. Again, only 25 rounds a second. With 25 rounds a second, you can still get a burst of 6 BBs on somebody. Like that's like 6 BBs at least that would have hit that person. And it's 25 rounds a second. That's what people freak out about high rate of fire, because they think 40 rounds a second. You don't know how many people I've heard say, "Oh, I don't want to be hit with 40 rounds in a second." That's not how it works. It's a long second, not a really quick trigger pull. That's not 25 BBs. This is 25 BBs a second, but that's not 25 BBs. That was like 10, maybe 15. So people just don't, I don't know, people just whine and complain all the time, and that doesn't make any sense because you don't really pull the trigger for a full second most of the time. If I were to pull the trigger for a full second on my 45 RPS HPA, the mag would be gone in about 2 seconds. So I can't hit you, I can't hold the trigger down for longer than 2 seconds. So you can't tell me that every time I pull the trigger and do a burst, it's 40 BBs. No, because it's probably like 15 to 25. But whatever. Of course, trigger response is just there. Got a high cap with 2 5s. See how it shoots now. It is overhopping, turn it down just a little bit, but it's very consistent. Still overhopping a little bit, which I prefer to get more range, but it's very, very consistent. Feeding seems to be pretty good. Let's try some full auto though. Seems to feed pretty good. It's out. Again, as far as shooting, it's perfect. Perfect. Wouldn't change a thing. Seems to feed fine, actually. Yeah, seems to feed fine. I'll turn the hop up down just a little bit. It's better. Let's go ahead and take the suppressor off and fire it without it, because I forgot to do that on the other portion. It sounds pretty good. It'll be louder when there's more air going through the system when it's shooting 400, but mag's out. Let's test another one. Overall, it's a pretty nice gun. So if you have any other questions or anything, just ask below, and I'll see you on the next video.